Welcome to the channel, guys. We are back again, and today I'm going to be doing a fragrance review on Nishane Annie, so stay tuned for that. And if you like the content, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Now, Annie by Nishane has been talked about a lot in the community, so it definitely is one I had to talk about. It is a vanilla heavy or a vanilla centric fragrance. And it did sound appealing to me, and of course, as I mentioned, there's a lot of positive talk about this one, so I definitely wanted to try this one out. Recently got a sample of it, and I've worn it a couple times, and I've tried it out, and now I'm going to give you my thoughts on this fragrance. Now, Nishane is a brand that I actually really like. I do also like the presentation a lot. The bottles are very cool, and they have awesome caps. But I've only got to sample this one because I didn't want to blind buy it. Now, what I actually get from this one is, of course, a lot of vanilla. In the opening of this one, there is a bit of a fruitiness that actually gives me almost a bit of a creamsicle vibe. So I do get the impression of, I remember when I was younger, I would often mix spiced rum and orange crush together, and it made something that kind of tastes like an orange creamsicle. This doesn't have the same orange impression that had, but this does have a feeling of some kind of creamsicle in it. So there is something here. There is a bit of a fruitiness that gives it this kind of, definitely this kind of jello-y, creamsicle-like vibe. And it's actually very interesting. Now, I've seen what other people have talked about this one. I've read what some other people have said about this one. I actually don't really get any spice in this one. So this one is talked about as a spicy vanilla fragrance, by some people anyways, and I don't actually get that impression at all. I get a much stronger impression of vanilla, a bit of a jello-y vibe, a bit of a creamsicle-y kind of vibe, and there is a definite fruitiness there. Now, this is a fairly linear scent, not completely linear, so I do get some changes throughout the life. I find that fruity creamsicleness is definitely much more prominent in the opening, and it does tone down a little bit in that regards. The vanilla is always very present, very upfront, and this does have a distinctive smell to it. So it is nice, and I do remember smelling this one, even on first impression, and thinking that it does smell nice. The biggest problem I actually have with this one, so this is not my favorite fragrance. I mean, that can go without saying, but it's not my favorite fragrance, and I probably wouldn't buy this one. And the main reason I wouldn't buy this one is because it's extremely strong and very, very vanilla-centric for a very long time. So, as I mentioned, it is fairly linear. I do get a little bit of changes. That fruitiness kind of dissipates. At some point, I get a little bit of a hint of a smokiness there. And it is nice, but the problem is, again, it's so strong. The performance on this one is insane. So I actually was testing it again today, and I sprayed it on a test strip. Walk out of the room, I can smell it in the hallway. And that's just from 2 sprays on a test strip. And this is one that lasts, after you have a shower, it will last 12 hours pretty much easily. And the problem that I find is it gets a little bit cloying. So it is nice smelling, and it is one of those ones, if you can catch just a few whiffs of it here and there, it's really great. But it's hard to do that with such a fragrance that is so strong. So I could not see going more than 2 sprays on this one ever. People that are spraying 5 sprays of this are crazy. You're probably choking somebody out sooner or later, unless they love vanilla. So for vanilla lovers, it's great. It's very potent, but I also find that it is a little bit too much in that regards. But as I was saying, it is a nice, pleasant fragrance when it's not too strong. But I think the fact that it is so strong in the vanilla, it is one that I think is obviously more suitable for the fall, for the winter. Now, I didn't wear this outside in the heat. That probably would have really ruined my impression of it. But this is one I wore on the house. It is climate controlled in here, so it would give you the general feeling, or me the general feeling, of what it would be like to wear this inside, even in the winter. Now, this is one that I think, though, would, because it is so strong, be great if you're going to be outside. Especially if you're going to be outside in the cold, because this is one that people will smell off you. Definitely. So it's the only downfall, like I said, that it has is that it performs almost a little too much for how sweet and how vanilla-centric this is. As for, what this smells like with regards to some other vanilla fragrances, I think of Parfums de Marly Pegasus, and there is a similar vanilla-ness, but in that one there's more almond, there's a bit of a tin-like or metallic chicness to the smell, which this doesn't have. This is more of a creaminess. And, in the dry down, I definitely get a little bit of a woody creaminess too. So there is a slight touch of that with this one that definitely sets it apart from that. The lack of almond also sets it apart from Pegasus. Now, I will say, with respect again to other vanilla fragrances, one that I actually preferred for me was Wicked Good. And the reason was because it wasn't so overpowering. It's one that smells pleasant, but isn't so consistently overpowering that it's just overcoming you all day. So it's a bit more chocolatey in the opening, and then it dries down to a sort of pleasant marshmallowy vanilla fragrance. And this does smell quite different, the vanilla in this, and whatever, the blend is. With this one, there is a similarity with the sweetness and the creaminess, but that again has a bit more of a marshmallowy vibe, whereas this has a vanilla, almost a jello-y vibe. So very distinctly different, and I think it does set itself apart from other vanilla fragrances. And for a vanilla lover, of course, you should try that. I don't think I love vanilla in a fragrance. I don't know how much I like it as the main prominent note, which this definitely is. So for a vanilla lover, it's fantastic. It's worth trying anyways. But again, like I mentioned, this is one that I think is most suitable for colder weather. It is fairly classy. I could see wearing this in a more formal occasion. Indoors, I wouldn't spray a lot. 2 sprays, absolute maximum. You might even consider 1, depending on how it performs on your skin, because this is really beastly, and it is one that can become a little bit cloying at times. So overall, I think it's a good quality fragrance. I'm glad I didn't jump on the hype train and buy this one, because I did almost blind buy this one. Not because it's bad, for me, it wouldn't be, I think, what everybody else was saying it was. It's a nice fragrance, but it's not one that I think I would ever purchase, and I don't think I'll get a decant of this again to wear it more. But it is nice, and definitely one that I can recommend to vanilla lovers. So anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on Nishane Annie. High quality vanilla fragrance with absolutely atomic performance, so do handle with care. Have you guys tried this one? Let me know in a comment down below. What do you think about Annie? What do you think about Nishane as a brand? Let me know. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.